Podcasting from beautiful Leesburg, Virginia. Welcome to the Music Educator podcast, bringing you tips, tricks, and practical advice that you can use tomorrow. Here's your host and fellow music educator, Bill Stevens.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Music Educator podcast. I'm your host, Bill Stevens. I'm so excited that you're here with me today. Today, we're going to start Season 3, Episode 1. And this season is going to be a little different. It's a little raw, it's a little uncut. We are in the midst of the pandemic COVID-19. And this is one of those global pandemics that is affecting everything from lives to health to safety to how we just operate in our day-to-day work schedule. So let's get started. I'm not sure if there's one best way to communicate with you. And I'd like to treat this more like a discussion in which you're sending vibes or you're providing feedback. But the pandemic came kind of abruptly. And I'm in the United States right now. I know my parents live in Europe right now, and people have just been communicating on social media about this thing. And it kind of came abruptly for us. We had our students at school. We were told, hey, there's a possibility that we could be missing school. No one had any idea that they would cancel school for the rest of the year, at least cancel in face-to-face school. We ended up, like many other states around the country, canceling regular school and starting online school. And that changes a lot of things, especially in music education. But that also provides a silver lining on the educational side. So in this situation, we get to try and experiment with new software. As music educators, we find a routine that works for us. We build the skills that we feel that are important based upon the time we have, and we never really get to experiment with all of the other possibilities. Well, now we're in a situation where a lot of our students are at home and they're either communicating with via Zoom or Google Meet or some other kind of interface. To tell you the truth, there are advantages to this and there are drawbacks to this. From a performance standpoint, for performance classes, you don't really get the full live, like you can't go out and try to have a rehearsal and expect all the musical aspects to be perfect. Well, one, you have the internet lag time. You just have, maybe you don't have music available. There are just so many complexities that we have to deal with and find ways around. So what we do is whatever we do to the best of our abilities. So some people are doing private lessons, and I personally do that. I have my own private studio as well, and I find myself actually sharing software in which I have the student play or I play, but we don't tend to play together because we know it's not going to line up very well. Now, if there's a program, and if anybody knows of software that has no drag time, please let me know. So we're doing that. We also have the ability to use the whiteboard in some of these interfaces. For instance, Zoom. A lot of schools are using Zoom. And you can do all kinds of things. You can record. You can draw notation. And you can do music theory. You can show people your screen. You can go to YouTube and have listening exercises. There's all kinds of things. And one of the great things, one of the silver linings I'm finding is that when we're going through this pandemic, in essence, this crisis where we're limiting our social interaction and promoting social distancing, we're learning about all these resources that are coming out of the woodwork, and it's really cool. And will this change education? Probably so. Probably in the future, things will be different. Will next year be normal? My guess is probably not. Will marching bands go on? Will competitions go on? Will we have the opportunities we used to? Maybe not. You know, it's true. Will new technologies be built? Will we have the Star Wars holograms, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope type of situation in our educational program? Maybe. I remember being a freshman in college and my music education teacher said, we will have holograms eventually as educational tools. Well, we'll see. Who knows? Maybe we're on the brink of that. So networking, getting in touch with all the tools we have is very, very important. And so I'm not going to continue too on with today's episode because I want to go ahead and put this out there. First and foremost, take a step back and reflect. What's really important for you, your family, whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, and your students? Put that in perspective. Can you be the person that adjusts and does the right thing? By doing that, we can move forward. And what I plan to do is I want to provide resources. I'm excited to tell you about some new technology that you can use with students from an online perspective for musical instruction online. And we will go from there. We'll grow together. And I'm excited to have everybody here. I want to encourage you to join me also on my blog. It's the number 4, themusiceducator.com. Again, for themusiceducator.com. Please subscribe to my blog. And please, if you have anything to share, I love to share it on the show notes. And have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Music Educator podcast for the latest tips, tricks, and practical advice you can use tomorrow. You can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Please visit the Music Educator blog at www.forthemusiceducator.com for additional posts and music education news. As always, join in the discussion and let your voice be heard by providing feedback at www.forthemusiceducator@gmail.com or leave a Google voicemail at 703-942-9883. We will see you on the next episode of the Music Educator podcast, and remember, music can change the world.